What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Outside the Clutch. We're going to have fun tonight. I'm going to be sweating my butt off tonight. My AC went out. So when you see it going, it's not because Danny's giving me a hard time. It's because it's legitimately hot in my house. We're going to have a good time tonight, though. I'm super excited to have these guys on. This is probably one that was long overdue. I've talked to Danny a couple of times at shows, and we never set this up. And I got a wild hair up my butt and was like, "Hey, you guys want to come on?" And they said yes, and we're doing this, and it's going to be a good time. So before we get started tonight, we're going to run through, say hi to the people that are showing up. What's up, Arvin? I'm really glad you're finally stepping up, man. I'm glad you chose a name, got everything going. I'm proud of you, dude. Mindy, Bam Bam, hope you're doing good tonight. You're having fun. I will not be calling anyone Randy tonight, except for you, Randy. Love you, brother. Hope you're doing good. John from Elite Exotics, what's good? Let's see. Enigmatic Reptiles. I didn't mess it up this time. Hope you're doing good tonight. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. Kaiju. How you doing, brother? Hope you're having a good time. Green Line Morphs, Jay. What's going on? Thanks for stopping in. John's Creatures, Lasco Portuguese? Let's go Portuguese. I don't know. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you're having a great night. Henley Reptiles, what's going on? Uh-oh. Lindsay, Pico Pythons, what's good, lady? Thanks for stopping in. It's okay, John. We'll wait here all night. You guys should know by now that I never start on time. So I thank you guys for being so patient. So patient. And you're right. You're right. You should wait. It's a great guest. Las Vegas Ball Pythons, thanks for stopping in tonight. Love all the stuff you're doing, brother. Just amazing animals coming out from over there. So let's jump into this. We got a lot of stuff to cover in a short amount of time. We're gonna have a good time. Y'all know how I feel. I'm going to just jump into those sponsors. We love our sponsors here, and you should love them too. Here at Outside the Clutch, we're honored to be sponsored by VivTech. Are you ready for innovation? Tired of the same boring product that's been used for 30 years? Ready to give your reptiles and amphibians the UV they really deserve? Then look no farther than VivTech. Their 3-watt LED bulbs provide the UV rays your animals have been missing. With 3 bulbs to fit your pet's climate needs, plus a dimmable feature, it's the only bulbs we use for UV. And it's the only bulb with a 2-year warranty in the industry. Plus now you can monitor all your pet's husbandry from your phone 24/7 with their sensors and even ship your customers' animals in their custom bags. So what are you waiting for? Go to VivTechProducts.com today, use code FCLUTCH0322 for 15% off, and provide your animals the best care they've ever had. And that chip life, you know it. Are you ready for the best coconut substrate in the game? Then you gotta get ReptiChip. First off, it's America's chip because it's veteran owned. Secondly, why wouldn't you want the best cocoa chip for your animals? Go to ReptiChip.com, use code FeelyChippin for 10% off up to 3 breeder blocks or your entire order of Easy Hatch trays or any Redline Science equipment on the site. Limit 1 coupon per customer. Or reach out to me as a representative in the El Paso area, and don't forget to join the Reptilution, where all profits go to helping those in need within the reptile community. Snake shows, hey, it's up. I don't know if it's there or there. I don't know. Where is it? There? Yeah, up there. Show Me Snake Shows. Mickey's doing a bang up job. I love that show. I love what he's doing. This weekend they're in Orlando, Florida, living that beach life. Next weekend you can find them in Kansas City, Missouri, or in Nashville, Tennessee. And if you're in Texas or around Texas, maybe New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, you're not afraid to drive. We're going to be in Odessa at the end of the month. So next month, I said next month. It's the 1st. Get your head together, John. It's the 1st. Yeah. So the 29th of this month, Odessa, Texas. I will be there if you want to come say hi. I look forward to seeing everyone that comes out. Let's see what we can get into tonight. They're looking bored already. They're like, oh, can we get in there already? We got stuff to talk. All right, y'all. Let's put your hands together for Danny and Renee Rocha of Portuguese Python. Did I roll my R good enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Good enough.
How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Very good.
That's wonderful. So
yes,
let's this one's gonna be a little bit different for me because I usually say, hey, what got you started? Or like how did you gain your personality? And now I'm gonna be dealing with multi-personalities. So this is gonna be a little bit of fun. I don't know if we should use this as a panel or how we want to do this, but you want to tell me kind of like what you would attribute to the way each of you are at this point in your lives?
I'm beautiful. Just kidding. No, as far as like snakes, we can go there. We just a husband and wife team.
Yeah. But as far as like how we like do like the whole thing together or how, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, so like Danny obviously is known for sarcasm and he gave me the forewarning. So I expected to get some shots right away, but like what would you say has led to like your personalities, not just in snakes, but like just life in general, like who you would say you've become? I know it's a hard question to start with.
I think it's like how do you say it? Like our opposites, like, you know what I mean? Like
what I don't like opposite.
Yeah, like how would you explain it?
Is that kind of where the logo came from then? Is like kind of the yin yang? You guys are opposites and you're finding a way to match it in?
No, I found I Googled like two P's together, right? And I found them, and then I had somebody put like little snake heads on them, so that's how I kind of like came up with it. Nice. But it'd be cool though. It sounds cooler that way, but no, it didn't happen that way.
I mean, I like your way of, the logo. No, I think we're like opposites, but with the same mindset.
Yeah.
So who's the business side of it and who's the fun side of it?
Oh, I do most of the business part of it. So I'm like the customer service, the Instagram. Well, he does most of the reels, but I do most like the talking. As far as like inquiries or sales, like it's mostly me. So he gets to play with the snakes, and then I get to deal with all the other stuff.
Yeah, but I can't write emails. I don't like writing emails. They'd be getting emails from a third grader if I was writing it to him. You know what I mean? Done, But it's good though. Like she likes dealing with it. I don't like dealing with it, and she does like all the social media stuff. I do all like the feeding because I want to be there and I know when everything's eating and how everything's doing. I think water changing and like
we split that task.
We split that. We have our days that we do it. I do all the rats just because I don't want her in there doing it. You know what I mean? Not that she can do it, it's dirty in there. You know what I mean? The ammonia and everything. It's just.
No, I completely feel that one. I like. There's been a few times where it was like I was out of town for something, or because anyone that's watched, I don't use water systems yet. I still use water bottles, even though I have a crap ton, which is probably the stupidest idea ever. But I've had too many lines get chewed out and turn into rat soup that I'm scared to be on water systems. So I just supplement hard work, I guess, or stupid work. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But
you can run your water to where it's like if they do chew through it, it's only going to flood one tub. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you can use like I don't know if it's like bigger than a 6-quart. It was like the 16-quart tubs, and those aren't bad because if the nozzle gets stuck or they rip through it, it's just going to fill up that one tub.
That's smart. That's probably something I need to look into because they need to get converted. But like, there's been a couple of times I've had to send her in to do like waters or something. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, and she has allergies, and one of the things she's allergic to is rat dander. So she's calling me on the phone afterwards, like, I hate you so much. Love you, babe. I'm like 600 miles away. I'm sorry. But so were snakes a part of it from the beginning, like when you guys got together, or where did the snakes come into play for y'all?
So one day after we had our first kid, he's like, let's go
not the day after.
No, not the day after.
Day after?
He said, let's go to
the hospital and Danny's walking into the pet store like, yeah.
Oh, let's go to the reptile shop. After we had our first kid, like I think he was maybe 5 months old or something. He's like, let's go to a reptile shop. And then I'm like, no, sorry. But we did. And we came home with our first ball python. And then the next week we went back and came home with our first corn snake. And then it just kind of blew up. So I think we were together probably 2 years before that happened. Married 2 years.
Yeah.
So.
And where did like the bug bite you? Because you said you got your first corn snake and your first ball python. Was it just like, okay, pets, and then instantly pushed, or was it just kind of like a subtle couple here, couple there? Okay, well, we have a lot. Maybe we should do something with it.
He was watching like a lot of videos, like Brian Barczyk videos, and what's the other one?
A lot of.
He's watching like a lot of YouTube videos and like saw the potential of, not just like the profit of it, but like we liked keeping the reptiles. It's a lot easier than cats or dogs, which we have both too. But the ease of taking care of them, and then it just kind of, flourished. Got out of control.
So when you initially started, was the focus more ball pythons or was it corn snakes? Because you seem to hold like almost an even majority of both now, or at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, you do a good job on your social media, at least, of showing both.
Yeah. A majority of it's all ball pythons, but we do the corn snakes just because we like them and they're fun. We didn't even breed them this year just because
we moved rooms.
Yeah, and just the way the market was, I just didn't want to have a bunch of babies because we're still selling some from last year. So we're just kind of waiting up for like the ones that we produce to kind of breed next year and kind of go from there. But it's just more like a fun project.
Yeah, corn snakes are more fun.
What is it about the corn snakes? Like you said they're fun, but like what is it about corn snakes that captivated you? Because everyone has something a little bit different that catches their attention for them, right?
I like their colors, their patterns, their personalities are quite different than ball pythons. And I don't know, it's just fun to have it like your table at a show because it's different than, not everybody has corn snakes at their table, whereas you can walk like two tables down and there's ball pythons. 2 more tables down, there's ball pythons. So it's just a little bit of variety.
You mean like every table there's ball pythons? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is depending on the show. And you guys are based out of SoCal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so I've always kind of said, and people go against it, but I've always felt like SoCal, well, California in general is like one of the meccas for reptiles, right? Like it seems like if there's a reptile you want to get your hands on, you can pretty much get your hands on it there. Not that you can't everywhere else, but it's a little bit harder. Like there's always some way to get your hands on a certain reptile in California, and there's all kinds of people and shops and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you go like on the more like map and you look at all breeders, it's like littered with breeders like everywhere. So you know what I mean, compared to anywhere else. Yeah, there's a lot of them over here.
Where have you kind of found yourself as you're building up your brand with the way that there's breeders like literally scattered through almost every town in California right now?
I mean, it hasn't been super like if you're talking about like sales wise, or what do you mean?
Well, not even just sales, but like just building a clientele or building your brand in California, because it seems like you have to go a little bit bigger out there, right? Like here in Texas, I could be a little lazy about it and like put out like a runner or something, and that's sufficient. Not that that's all I do, but I mean, like, you have to really like find a way to stand out when you're in California, right?
I think a little bit.
Yeah, but I think you still like if you're gonna go and do like one case, like do your one case, like do it the right way. You know what I mean? Don't be ashamed that you only have one case. Like get a nice banner, get your case, like get your lights, and like
promote yourself, like
yeah.
Network, that type of thing.
Yeah, just because you have one case doesn't mean you can't have a really nice display and just be just as good as the guy next to you with 20 cases, right?
Right. You think that's one of the fears of a lot of the new people? Like I feel like a lot of the new breeders, they hold off on shows. Like they don't want to have that show until they could fill up like 2-3 tables and they feel like they're one of the big breeders.
I think that is a fear. And I think like putting yourself out there, like I know before we first started vending in, what was it, 2022? No, 2021, right?
That's right. That was right at the first come on after COVID.
Yeah. So like in 2020, like the first show that California was able to put on, we went out there, we took our t-shirts, we took our business cards, and we weren't even vending, but we went and like introduced.
Anaheim.
Yeah, Anaheim. We went and introduced ourselves to like the bigger breeders in Southern California. Like, hey, here's a t-shirt, here's a sticker. Like, hey, we're Danny RENAE, like that type of thing. Like we networked before we actually started vending. And then once we started vending, like we took all of our research from like, oh, we like this table, we like that table. We saw on social media, like from the Texas shows and the Tinley shows, like, oh, we like their banner. And like we just invested on making our setup like, well, I think it's badass. But we invested on it, and just we put our name out there before starting to vend. And I think that is where a lot of the newer breeders, the younger breeders, like they're afraid, like you said, to put the one case out there. But just go big or go home.
Yeah,
like,
you don't, not to have to go big, but you
don't
still have
to
to get like a nice banner and like
yeah,
have
but
a nice
put your name out there.
Well, Danny saw it.
See?
I only had one case at the last Arlington, and I was like,
Well, no,
if they go, they go. They're probably not going to go, but this is what I got, so this is what you get. But I ain't giving that spot up.
Talking to people, like getting your name out there, like, oh, I've seen this banner before, or like, oh, I've seen their table before. Like, I think that's the most important thing, like getting your face, getting your name out there.
Absolutely. What would you kind of advise for people? Like you said, get your face out there, get your name out there, but how would you approach, or how would you advise people to approach if they're just kind of starting out and just learning how to rub shoulders? Because let's face it, right? A lot of us in the industry are kind of like Danny's trying to be right now, and like withdrawing back and antisocial.
I was soaking it all in right now. Okay. Ruined it for me.
No, and that's a hard thing. I think he's outgoing, but I think I might be the more outgoing one. But within reptiles, like he shined. Like I've never seen him talk to so many people before reptiles. And I don't know, just like sucking it up and being like, hey, I'm so-and-so from this, that, and the other. I follow you. I just wanted to introduce myself. Like, if you have any tips for me, that type of thing. Just like people are willing to, like the good people are willing to help you.
Yeah, but most of the time, like you don't realize, like it feels cool, right? Somebody's like, hey, like I follow you on social media, or I follow you on Instagram. Like, go up to these guys and tell them, like, hey, I follow you. A lot of time, like there's not people that go to them. It's like, it's kind of cool, like to hear that, right? And you start up a conversation, you start talking to them, and next thing you know, like most of the time people got to walk away from me to get me to stop talking. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of these guys are the same way. It's just like, you just got to go up to them and talk to them. You know what I mean? And they'll want to talk to you. And I mean, there's people out there probably that don't, but I mean, it is what it is. I think most of everybody wants to like talk. I mean, we have nobody else to talk to except each other, right?
I mean, yeah. I was going to make a smart comment, but
yeah, you're not quick.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. My wife will eventually watch this and I'll get slapped in the back of the head. Like, no one wants to talk to their spouse, so that's why we do this and we talk to everyone else. But so when you said it was 21, right? 21 when you first set up. What were some of the things that you had to really think about and take into account when you were first setting up that show? And what are some of the things you learned from that first show that you rolled into to improve for the shows after?
I think a big person, right? Dave Hardy.
Yeah, he said what things.
Yeah.
No, but after your first show, what would you have changed to make it better, type thing?
Oh, I think being prepared though is the first thing though. Like,
yeah.
You gotta have like we talked, like it was Dave Hardy, right? Hardy's Pythons. We asked him, and he was like, "Dude, you have to have a tub. Like, basically, it's a tub with everything you need, right? So when you go to the show, you just grab the tub and you take off. Like, you don't forget anything. Make sure everything's in there. We even did like a
checklist,
right? Yeah, like to make sure. But I think after first or second show, like we don't even need it anymore because like everything that's in there stays in there. That way you don't forget it. And you just got to. I think what we do before a show is like go look at it, make sure it's stocked. Or like, hey, are we missing some stickers? Or we need this or need that? And I think that's a big thing. I don't know what else I think we changed.
I mean, we've expanded. We did one table at our first show, and then we've eventually made our way to like an end cap. So, I mean, we grow each time, like spacing, and I don't think there's I don't know, just like he said, making sure you have all your supplies, basically. But we're pretty close to all the shows that we've been, so it's not like we couldn't just jump home and grab it.
That makes a lot of sense. I know that was some of the advice I got right away, and I took to heart. My first 2 shows, I messed up really, really bad. So like, I forgot something, and luckily my first show of vending ever was here local, and it was a small show, so it was just like run back to the house. But I had to call the wife, and I was like, "Hey, I forgot this, and I forgot this, and I forgot this," and customers are rolling in. Can you bring all this stuff and the kids? Sorry, love you, bye. And then the second one was Arlington, and so my first show, I had a TV mounted, right? And I had my YouTube running the whole time to try to bring people over here. And I was in such a hurry when I tore down. Instead of grabbing the splitter for my lights for my displays, I grabbed the power cord for my TV. Because I just saw a cord and I was like, oh, that has to be it. And I threw it in there. So I drove 10 hours all the way to Arlington, and then didn't have a way to put lights on my snakes, and had to run through the whole venue. And luckily JSA was there, and they're a distributor for lights. And I was like, hey, do you have a splitter for this? And they were able to help me out. But it was just one of those things, and you learn, and you're like, I'll never make that mistake again.
Exactly.
But yeah, it doesn't move now. Like, it goes straight into the box.
What is that? What is that's about? Like the tape, gaff tape?
Oh, it's like hockey tape.
Yeah, like somebody's telling us like that gaff tape to use that, because I was using like duct tape to tape like the electric cords down, and then like was it Marvel? Marvel Morph?
No, not Marvel Morph.
Oh,
Galaxy Morph Galaxy.
Yeah, they use a gaff tape, because he said he used it like on like set productions, and he said it don't leave like the stick stuff all over your like all your wires and everything. So we got to buy some and try it. But
that's cool.
But you learn something new every time.
So we went like everywhere on that.
Hey, you're the
I lost my train of thought for a little bit too, which is great. But when you first jumped into snakes, what was the first ball python and the first corn snake? Can you remember exactly what they were?
Yeah, a normal and here, just right.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Just a normal.
Right next to you. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
She's our girl. That's Sylvia. And then we got no, we can't get to him, but a stripe, Amel stripe corn snake. What else is he? Something else?
I think that's it.
Yeah. So Amel stripe. So he's like real pretty orange with nice striping down him.
Yeah.
Then it just kind of blew up.
What's some of the things you've learned with, because you worked 2 species essentially from the start, right? Like
yes.
You started the breeding for both of those at the same time?
I
Or
think
give or take?
Yeah. I mean, I don't brumate the corn snakes. So
Really?
I just said that. And it worked. I didn't breed them this year, but the last 2 years. 2
years.
3 years. I didn't brumate them all. And that they do just fine. Even double clutch and everything, but it worked here. I don't know. I mean, somewhere else it might not work either, though.
We got that weird Southern California weather, though.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling it over here too, but I don't have those crazy fires that y'all do.
Yeah,
not yet at least. Not yet. Yeah. Where did you see this kind of, or like how did you step into the breeding for it? Like when you decided, okay, I'm going to take it from a couple into an actual business and try to launch this. Like, how big was your collection at that time, and like what was kind of your mindset running into it?
Let you answer that.
I don't know. I mean, I think it took a little bit to get her on board, but I mean, when do we start making the logo and everything? That was in what, like?
No, that was in 2020.
Yeah.
But we started in late 17. But as far as breeding was like 18. What made you make the switch? Well, I think, like I said earlier, he had watched like a bunch of YouTube videos and probably like an Aussie one that like, oh, I made like $1 million from this clutch, you know, and like he would send me that. I'm like, there's no way. And then like one day he came home from selling like a snake on Craigslist. I'm like, you made what? He's like, yeah, I made this. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So like I didn't believe it until like he actually sold like our first sale, and I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
What was that first clutch, and what was it like when you decided to? Do you guys cut, or do you just let them pip on themselves?
The first one pipped before I went to go look at them, and I was like, they pipped, and then we cut them after that. But I mean, ever since then, like we cut all.
Okay.
What day do you cut them?
Oh, go ahead. What day do you cut?
It just depends. Like right now, like towards you get like the first few clutches of the season, like I think towards day almost day 60 is like when they throw like fully formed, but not fully formed, like ready to go. But I think now that there's more eggs in there in the incubator, you can get like day 52 sometimes, day 54, depending on where they're at. And so I
typically
just
around like 54 or 56 is what we
you can
average
feel
cut.
Yeah.
But we've cut as early as 52 because I'm impatient.
No, I completely feel that. I did the same thing with one of my clutches this year, but it was because I had to know, because it was such long odds. I was like, I got to know. Like, I'm not going to wait anymore. But well, I'm sorry. I went over, like, I do compound questions and it's hard sometimes. What was that first clutch for y'all?
It was a pastel calico female to a super pastel spot nose yellow belly. So that was the first clutch.
How's your feelings on all that pastel? Are you still very much so part of the pastel train, or are you veering away?
It's not that I dislike it. It's just like everything you breed it with, like the ones you want to keep have pastel, all the female, you know, it's just, it always works that way. It's
what
like
you're asking for is always opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But we still have it. It's pretty prominent in our collection. Trying to move away from it in some things.
Yeah, but it's hard to get rid of too, especially if you have like double and triple heads. Like a lot of stuff has pastel in it, right? Like, so what do you do? Just get rid of all of them? You can't. So, and then when you breed them and you hit the triple head, it normally has pastel in it because that's the one you hit with pastel. So,
and then, so you went with a very heavy pastel to start. How big was your operation when you started and decided to turn it into a business?
We just had like the one rack, no? Or we had a melamine rack.
I don't know if it, like in the beginning it was like, hey, it's gonna be 100% a business. It was more like, hey, we're breeding them, like selling them, like we're making profit. Like I enjoy like breeding animals and just having them too, but I don't know where I go with that.
I don't know. I think it was just like we had like a rack, maybe like we had the Vision rack?
Yeah.
We had like a Vision rack and maybe like a homemade melamine rack, and then it just kept going.
I think the more research you do, like the more you start producing some stuff, you see what it's sold for. You learn about morph market, and it's just like you start to see what's there and what the potential is. And then we just started, slowly putting our, starting a, I just want to say YouTube, Instagram page, and start posting stuff on there. I mean, if you look at the pictures in the beginning, they're bad. Like the lighting's bad, it's horrible, but like that's where you start from.
That's a lot of posts. I was gonna do it. I was gonna mess with you and pull one. Did you delete all your old ones?
No, everything's up from day one.
So you started with, like, you said a melamine rack and a Vision rack, so like a 40 essentially, or like a 10?
No, the Vision was a 70 series, and then the melamine I still have.
Well, I mean, like, was it like a 10 slot, or was it a 40 slot, or?
Oh, it's 11.
I'm not familiar with Vision's racks.
Yeah, I think it's like, this is the 70 series tub, and it was like 11 high
slots.
or something like that.
And then I think this one's 11 or close.
Yeah, with like 28 cords.
Yeah. So around 20-ish.
How long did it take you to realize, well, I want to, oh my Lord, there's a lot of ultra mil on this.
It's infectious, huh? The ultra. Yeah. You can't look away, huh?
I'm scrolling past it fast. No, I'm just playing. It's beautiful.
Oh, they both are.
I dog
I
at
like
it
them.
just because, but it is beautiful. I tend to veer towards the darker stuff,
It's what you like, and if you're an invested,
which it
if
does
you're
play really well with dark stuff too. Like you can bring out the best qualities of it with dark stuff too.
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah, I know.
small still. I can't. I don't have a bunch of tubs behind me to put ultramel in. They all need that other one that you said I'm not allowed to talk about. But
No,
you
you
say
can talk about
monarch. So you started your first year with 11 breeders. When did you decide, okay, well, we gotta reinvest and we gotta actually grow this? Was it your first year or like rolling into your second year?
Probably the second year, right?
Yeah. Like we kind of let like everything pay for itself, right? Like so we'd buy some animals and then make some money and then reinvest it and then buy some animals, make the money and reinvest. So every year it's being reinvesting. They've been basically paying for themselves. But I mean, initially you put some money up front. I mean, there's no other way to do it without doing that. And but towards that, when you get to the end of the year, they end up making the money back.
So when you decided to take that leap, was it nerve-wracking, or was it one of those, okay, like we've kind of proven to ourselves we can do this, let's take this step? Renee looks like she was nervous about it.
I mean, I was, but I wasn't. Like, I trust him. Obviously, I married him.
Big
so
mistake.
yeah, I know. But it was a little nerve-wracking. It's still nerve-wracking. Like, you know, we upgraded our snake room, we added more racks, and I'm like, I trust you. Like, I see the potential. Like, I run the numbers, I see it all. So like I get it. Like, yeah, you have to reinvest. You have to keep advancing. You can't stay stagnant, and, you know, kind of just on board going with the flow.
So what was that first real investment outside of like the racks? Because we all know the racks are a huge investment for everyone, right? What was that first real investment, whether it be snake or like another piece of infrastructure for y'all?
It was probably a snake, right?
Yeah. I mean, everyone, like, I think every time you purchase one, it's always like that next step, right? Like, it's always like, hey, just spend that little bit more, you know what I mean? Or you're going to like try to climb to that next level. So everybody's going to spend a little bit more than you did the last time. I don't know. I mean, I think every time's a lot.
Yeah. Every purchase is like, okay, let's do it. So, but I mean, we kind of bit the bullet on upgrading our room to make it better for us. Like, there's obviously a lot more space in here, and now it's like closer. Like, if we have 3 kids, so our kids can be in the next room, like the playroom, and we're right here. Versus like if we were to add outside, or we were in a smaller room before and all 5 of us couldn't fit in there. But now, like, the kids could just be sprawled out on the floor, and it's, you know, it's kind of just like you have to bite the bullet to make your life better, your business better.
So like I remember my first one, and I looked at my wife and I was like, I don't know if we should do this, but I want to do this. I know you're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I love you. And at that point, and I'm well beyond that now, and she looks at me with like absolute hatred when I do it. But at that point, it was a $2,000 animal, right? And I remember exactly what it was. It was the pastel monarch. Got it in. I found a way to fit it in. But that was the first, like, I had like those $600, $700 snakes, but I didn't like, I still consider those almost a pet level, which for some they are, for some they aren't, right? Depending on where you are in the move. But that first, like, okay, if I want to take the next step for whatever I'm trying to do, like that $2,000 point was like, it was almost like a mind-blowing experience for me on that first push,
Yeah.
right? So what was that first mind-blowing animal purchase for y'all?
Was it the firefly?
You know, I think it was like a firefly leopard clown. I think the guy went at 1,700 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, for us, I was like, man, that's a lot of money. Like, I even called the guy on the phone. Like, I talked to him. I was like, you sure he has leopard? And he's like, yeah. And then, but that was, I mean, I still thought that was
I
a lot
think
of
that
money
for
back
us,
when we,
like back then, was like, holy moly, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it, and then we did it.
that's when pastel was still okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
Back in the day. No, it's still okay. I like it in DG.
yeah,
But
it's okay in some stuff. I think it's still relevant, but just not in everything.
absolutely.
It deserves its
What's everyone kind of runs into different directions, right? But what were the projects that you really decided that you wanted to focus on when you came in? Or was it just kind of like a ooh pretty, ooh pretty, ooh pretty, and then you had to like scale down and move back into projects?
Yeah, I think in
Maybe
the
not
beginning,
even scale down. Some people just hold on to everything, but
that's another struggle too with the keep and get the sell too. But I think in the beginning there isn't like much structure to it, right? It was just like whatever's cool.
whatever like adult females we could find and match up, and
But everybody's guilty of that. You know what I mean? You're just excited. But then I think after a while, like we started to realize like, hey, we got to sit down and have some more structure to it.
and see what we like, and we ultimately ended up on Ultramel, obviously, but we still dabble with a lot of other stuff too.
what's this? So I know nothing about it, and maybe it's because I'm trying to be better about not always being on social media. Are they just messing with you on that?
Yeah. Who is it?
Sparkler?
Travis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This guy has nothing else better to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never heard of
Travis.
that.
Yeah, I know. Tell them to get
so-
lost. Oh my gosh.
So Ultramel, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna have an Ultramel episode.
It was good to say it though. See, that's the
No,
bad
it
part.
doesn't. It hurts. It hurts my heart. Like if
just
you
rolled
see
off
my
the tongue.
just go limp. Someone call 911 because I had a heart attack because I'm talking about. It's okay. It's okay. Besides
Oh, my cheeks
besides
hurt.
Ultramel, what'd you guys decide was like, okay, I really want to work this project. So I know when I first jumped in, I was all about clown, and then I saw how heavy people were in clown, and it was like, I'm not going to be detoured from clown, but I have to make sure I put my own spin on that. And I found other recessives because I had talked to enough people. I understood that it was going to a double. Like we're in like triples and quads now, and that seems like it happened overnight for me. I don't know about everyone else, but like when you were first jumping in, what were those other projects that you decided, okay, there's something here that I see, or at least I like, that I think I can work with?
Clown. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I necessarily Ultramel was the only thing, but like I gravitated to it, and that's what we liked. So we grabbed that. I think a majority of our collection has it in there, but we still have a lot of clown.
Decent amount of Pied.
Yeah, and pies. I mean, we do other shows too, so I think having pies and clowns on the table is really good too. So, I mean, what else?
Have you kind of noticed from that? Like, have you kind of figured out the market there with what you have within your collection, like what moves well and what doesn't? Because I know that's one of the things that kind of especially newer people struggle with somewhat. Like I know I still have the stuff myself. Like I fight myself because I want to keep a smaller collection. So it's like I'll make something and I'll watch the entire clutch disappear at a show, and I'm like, I should really remake that. But if I remake that, I can't move on to the next step for me, which means I have to bring in more tubs, which means more snakes and all that good stuff. But
Well, we've done I think a handful of repeat clutches. Like obviously we have a few. We're not huge on albino pied, but we know it sells. So we have, you know, a trio or 1.3 of albino het pied, albino pied, that type of thing. So those sell pretty decent. Just normal pieds sell pretty well. This was our first year we were able to produce bells, and those flew off the table. Normals, you know, for first time, you know, pet owners, which is nice because you can just kind of get rid of those easily. What else? surprisingly, like our Ultramall stuff, like because we have a following in Southern California who watches us, so like some of our Ultramall,
Relax, not that part.
not a following.
I
So we have-
mean, you guys are doing pretty good. 25K.
Oh yeah.
But you know,
Danny's like,
people look at our
I did
Ultramall.
that. You see that? I did that.
Really? You throw me under the bus?
No.
No, but like, you know, some of that stuff, but just, you know, the normal stuff. And it's like knowing your show, like the super shows are not by any means like we went to Arlington and it's a totally different vibe. Whereas like the super shows are cool, but it's a lot of like families going and like just you have to know your market. First time pet buyers. It's not, you know, your big breeders coming here to like buy investment animals. I mean, maybe there's one or two, but it's majority first time pet owners or, you know, just people like in the hobby, like dabbling in it. So just know your market.
Are you now you're predominantly at the super shows, or are there other shows outside of those that you focus on?
We've done some Repticons here. They're probably a little bit different than, you know, like Florida and stuff. And then we did the Central Valley like Pet and Reptile Expo, which was newer this year. But yeah, that's it. We haven't done much of anything else.
Yeah, but the Repticons are bad, and they don't promote it, so it's.
They're not bad.
No, I mean as far as the potential, like if they promote it, they can get a lot more people through the door.
We already know it's okay.
They could do more promotion. That would be nice. We would like to get out to Arlington.
Good luck. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
No, I know.
It's hard. So I got extremely lucky. And like I said, I will, if I am only handing out business cards at a table, at a show, I will, until I'm either in the grave or I can't do this anymore. I'm going to have that table.
They got a waiting list for Arlington too, just like Tinley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to wait for someone to give up a table to get a table at this point.
You got to wait for someone to die.
Or you have to wait for someone to decide, okay, I can't do this anymore, and I'm going to sell my collection because I can't handle a little bit of stress. Yeah. Okay, I said that. I shouldn't have said that. But it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
You get afraid and you sell your collection for like a third of the price you put it into it, and then you complain about it the rest of your life. What do I know? This shows. What's been your favorite experience on the shows? So you've seen kind of like bigger shows, you've seen smaller shows. Repticon, I'm assuming, is fairly big out in California.
Repticon, not.
I think it's bigger out. Yeah, no, it's not.
No, I think they used to do one in like Pasadena, but that one hasn't. Right? Didn't they do that one in Pasadena one time that we went to?
Yeah, I think that was pre-COVID.
Yeah, but they haven't had that one. So it's only Costa Mesa. It's kind of a small venue, like one little building, mostly gecko or like what do you call it? Supplies, enclosures, wood, that type of stuff.
Dry goods.
But the super shows are definitely bigger out here.
Yeah, way bigger.
Oh no.
We lost him.
No, I'm here. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
I think it froze for like just a second. It freaked. So everyone has kind of like a story at a show that really stands out from their time. Can you share one of those stories that you'll never forget from a show? You act like the shows are so uneventful right now. Like,
no, they're fun.
I know you're friends with Randy. I know.
Oh yeah.
One of the. I'll set it up for you, okay? I'll set it up, and Randy's gonna get pissed at me. But my first experience meeting Randy, he came and said hi, and then I got introduced to Captain.
Did he have his pants on?
Huh?
Did he have his pants on? No.
Well, he did initially, but
no. But I will say one thing about Randy: he always feeds us really well. He's always bringing us hot dogs.
the time they met me from Henley.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have a story that stands out?
Well, before you cut me off, I had a great story, but then I forgot it. But no, I think the coolest thing was like somebody picked up a snake from us and they're like, hey, I want to buy a shirt. And I was like, why would you want to buy a shirt from us? You know what I mean? Like, okay. And then I think, was it at like Anaheim or something? He was like wearing the shirt. And I was like, I thought it was the coolest thing. I don't know. Just like, this is the first time to see somebody come and like wear your shirt to it, like a show. You know what I mean? So I think that was
awesome.
my cool.
It scares me. Like I remember when I first came back to the industry, I came back in fall of 2017. 18. It was when they were still doing the San Diego shows. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I took like 5 shirts out. So I went to the San Diego show, and then Pomona was the following month. I was like, okay, I'm driving back. Like literally, I drove from Texas to San Diego, drove back. A couple weeks later, I went on leave again because I was still in the Army, and I got shirts made in between and drove back out, and I handed out like 5 shirts and maybe 10 shirts. And I never saw him again. The only person I know that still has a shirt is Adam Webb.
I don't know.
But that's Goolsby's.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So his son used to watch. I said I was bad at names too. That's going to sound horrible. Rusty's going to get me later. His sons used to comment on stuff all the time, and I put out in a video, if you come say hi, I have X amount in this size, and this size. If you come say hi, I'll give you a shirt. Well, Adam's son wanted to say hi, but didn't have the cojones to do it. So Adam came up and did it for him, and I was like, here's a shirt for you. Here's a shirt for your son. Which was cool. It was like you get the opportunity to meet people from all over, but it's a different relationship, I guess. Like the fact that they're willing to support you, which is really cool. Like you were saying.
Yeah.
I have been horrible about merchandise though. So what are your guys' advice on merchandise? Because I feel like, especially a lot of us newer people, like I've been around for a while, but as far as like selling and vending, I haven't been around that long. So for those that want to kind of build their merchandise, what's some of the tricks of the trade you would say?
Well, what we did in the beginning, we made shirts and we just handed them out. Like we'd go to the show, just hand it out to like, not just random people at the show, but like different breeders and people we met, and just to help promote. I mean, whether they'd wear it or not, I mean, it's still, I think it's a good way to promote. Costs a little bit of money, but I think in the long run, it's good, you know?
And then now, like, we have them on our table, like, oh, you know, if you want a shirt, it's X amount of dollars. If you buy a snake, then it's obviously lower. But I mean, it's self-promotion, you know, any promotion is good promotion, right? Like there's some people who are killing it in it, but we don't have, like, all we have is shirts, stickers, and business cards, right? There's people who have like cups and like all this. Like I don't have time for that. Like I could do shirts like on the road, but I mean, it's self-promotion, and you know, if somebody wears it, cool. Like if they wear it on a live, or if they just wear it down the street, or I mean, it is what it is.
Did you find someone local for you to do your merchandise, or did you find somewhere online?
Oh yeah, local. We used him before. When we had our first son, we had shirts made because we were like those weird parents, and then like we've just used him. We've just used him ever since. So a local guy, and he takes online orders. Really cool graphics design, Mike.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people use those like drop ship companies, but I just don't trust the quality on those, and I'm very particular about like shirt material. So
yeah, because we ordered one too, and like the colors were like, it was like on the paper it looks green and red, and then we got it. It was like a whole different.
It was like coral and like lime green. I'm like, no, that doesn't work for me. So
the colors were always on. So I forget what it was. I used one of those companies for a while, and because I wanted the next level shirts when they were the biggest craze in the world, right? Like, well, this is the only place I could find them, and so I got into tank tops. Like, I will not clean in a shirt. I have to have a tank top because I am French and Portuguese, and the hair flows, to say the least, everywhere. It's too hot in the snake room for me to be running around in a t-shirt, as you can see. So I went there, and I always get tank tops, and I printed out, or I did like that testing order, and I'd get one where like the logo was up here, and then I got one where it was like underneath my boob, like halfway down, and like I had on the back, I had like this whole nice thing printed up, and one of them was like way at the top. There was no standard at all on how they were printing these things. So I gave up, and from that moment on, I was just like, I'm not doing shirts. I'm not doing anything. I'm pissed off. And then like I made coffee cups on that same company, and they double printed my logo. So like it looks like it's shadowed almost on every cup that I got. And I was just, you gotta be kidding. But yeah, that's the name of the game. So I'm glad you guys found someone local that you love. I think that's one of the hardest things, and I think that's something that people take for granted, because that one not only builds you guys up locally, but you helping out another local company usually creates a word of mouth.
Definitely.
Sorry. The party's going on, and I can't tell if my kids are trying to walk in.
Since we're talking about shows, I think shows are important, though. I think just the biggest thing is like talking to people. I think that's the biggest takeaway when you go to a show, is just like talking to people, and you'll get people to come back the next show, like, hey, you know what I mean, just to come like find you at the show. I think that's super cool too. Lost them.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry, kids walked in. Okay,
I'll tell them about the Ultramel. Oh yeah. I'll send them pictures.
I'm surprised you didn't make your logo that way. No.
Right.
What is it about the oranges in that captivated you? I gotta know, because like everyone likes some version of an orange snake, right? Whether it's like a dreamsicle or Ultramel or like,
don't say it,
the best. No, but there's so many versions of different variations of orange, right? So what was it about the orange and Ultramel that captivated you guys?
I mean, I think it's just a cooler looking banana, right? I mean, if you look at them as babies.
Oh,
No, I mean, just like, I know that, but I'm saying the color hues you can get with some of them too. As a baby.
I like the way he put that. That was a good way to put it.
You shouldn't have.
No, relax.
No, I think like the purples against the yellows. I mean, you get different varieties. Like we've hatched out some Ultramels that are like super light with like lavenders, and then we've hatched out some plain Ultramels that are like super dark with like deeper purples, and there's variety. But I think, I don't know, we've seen Monarch in person when we went to Arlington, and I don't know, I just, something about Ultramel, like the colors just, to me, in my personal opinion, they just pop better. Nothing wrong with Monarch. I just think like the purples are more purpley.
You know how good this feels in my heart to hear you guys say that name so many times? It's wonderful. I'm going to rebrand you guys. You're going to be Team Monarch by the end of the show.
No, I think they're both cool. It's just what we went into, you know what I mean? And that's what I have, and that's what I like, and we keep going. I can't just go and like switch everything to, you know, Monarch now too. I mean people
you could, but
yeah.
But I won't.
So have you kind of looked at more of the brighter side, like looking through your Instagram? You guys seem to have a tendency towards both, but you're very focused on whether you're going to do light.
I think that's what's cool.
Certain projects.
It looks good light, and it looks good dark too.
So let's see here. I'm trying not to click on anything that'll be that horrible word. That is pretty. I'll give you that. That's pretty. Dang it. We can go there. What What kind of made
Oh,
you guys
sorry.
decide? Oh my Lord, child. You good? Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. What made you guys decide to shoot your pictures the way that you do? Because I'm not gonna lie, if you've watched the recent reels, they're all in front of nature now, because I have decided that it is just better looking. But what inspired you to shoot your snakes behind a green grass background?
It was just able to capture the correct colors.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were doing it like in a white backdrop, but like a white snake on a white backdrop wouldn't pick up.
You still got to correct it.
Yeah, you have
get
to,
it close to what it's supposed to look like, even like an all white background, you still got to correct it to make it look what it should look like. Not that you're enhancing it at all.
But outdoors, like in the sunlight, whether it be a bush or grass or like your cement, whatever, it was able to like auto correct the color a little bit better. And so we made the switch. We kind of go back and forth here and there. But with these cameras nowadays, they correct themselves, and then you may still have to correct it. But the grass or like a piece of wood,
we just found that those pictures look the best, right? Like the snake looked the best, the coloration, saturation, everything looked the best doing it there when the grass is green.
When the grass is green. And
How often is the grass not green?
It's always green on the other side.
Dogs mess it up too. So.
Oh yeah, the dogs. And then in like winter, when you couldn't get the sunlight, or our winter, whatever
that's another bad part about doing like outside photos, right? Like you get like the best photos, but you're like fighting the sun all the time. So you're always like, all right, it's perfect time. Like go get the picture now before the sun moves, in the wrong spot and you don't get a good picture. So we try to do it inside, and I think so far it's working okay. But
yeah, kind of go a little bit back and forth.
Okay. Let's talk about the kiddos for a second, if you're okay with that. How involved are they in this whole process?
So our son.
I love that. I don't trust mine to do that yet, but I love that.
So
he was younger right there too.
Yeah, he was. He likes to help, but for like 5 minutes and then he's done.
Yeah.
But he likes to do water changes and help change bedding. He wants to push the buttons on the ultrasound. He's 6 now, so I don't even remember that. That was a year ago. So he's like almost 5 or 5. But yeah, he likes to push the buttons on the ultrasound. Our middle daughter, she's 4 now. She likes to change the water. She wants to hold George, is like one of our big snakes. But that's about it with her, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they're as involved as they can be at that age too, I mean, there's only so much they can do.
And then our littlest, she's 16 months. She's been pretty much at every reptile show with us since she was in my belly. Now she wants to hold like all the
last one.
Oh yeah, she wasn't at the last one. That was the first one she wasn't at.
Yeah.
But she wants to hold the baby snake, so she'll put her 2 little hands out, and I'll put it in her hand. Obviously, I'm holding it, and then she'll want to push it away. She'll go hi, and then pushes it away. But I mean, that's as much involved as she can be. So they help. They help when they want to. So.
Has it been a little bit of a challenge to have them involved? Because I know. So I'm very OCD about how things move. And Rusty, you were so drunk today that you showed up when it's half over. What a jerk. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, bro. I'm so OCD in my room that if like the kids throw me off my rhythm, I kind of like space out for a second. I gotta gather my thoughts again. But
it gets
do they kind of know the ebb and flow of your room and how mom and dad want to do things, or are you very much so just work around the chaos that children are?
We try to do it when they're like occupied. But then of course they hear us in here talking, or I want to help. Well, like halfway through, like let me just get it done so then we can hang out. And then we have to stop and okay, they want to help. So let's just let them help. They're only going to help for 2 minutes and they're going to be done. So it's kind of taken us a little bit of learning to just be patient.
Yeah. It's hard because you want to get it done, but at the same time too, you want to nurture it too and let them do it and take their time. And so.
I know. So my little princess, she's really good at it. Like she's patient, but the issue is her pide's at the very top and she cannot get it by herself. So she's patient with me and what I have to do and helps out so that she can get her pied. But she is constantly going, Dad, I'm ready for my pie. Dad, I'm ready for my pie. Dad, my pie.
Yeah.
But, and then
Yeah,
the boys are just like, oh, open drawer, open this drawer, open this.
Yeah, and they put their face like right there.
Yeah. Feeding night. Don't do that.
Exactly.
So I've gotten to the point where I usually try to either do it like right before bed so I can have them wash their hands, brush their teeth, and then go to bed. Like I'll give them a little bit of playtime right before bed, or I'll just wait till they pass out.
Yeah.
It's faster. But I love that you're able to do it as a family. I think that's one of the biggest blessings about this industry in general is that we don't always take for granted because while I'm a stay-at-home dad, I'm always doing something. So like between school, animals, or well, I can't say stay-at-home dad now because I have a rat facility that I have to go to. But when I'm not there, I'm like always here. So it's been a blessing in the fact that I'm always around the family, but I'm learning how to work my schedule around their schedule now.
But I mean, they're the future. I mean, if we want to pass it on to them, we gotta like you said, nurture it. But then again, yeah, I would like to do everything when they're sleeping, but then when would I sleep? So
you don't need sleep, you're a mom.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
My thermostat's freaking. Sorry. That threw me off.
Squirrel.
Where was I going with that?
Talk about member Ultra.
Has there been any what we were talking about Monarch or my bald spot or
oh, don't worry, we all have one.
With that nice luscious hair. It's okay. Yours is nice too, Renee. I wish I didn't have that giant bald spot.
No bald spots.
Yeah. Where was I trying to go with that? Oh, have they? Because all your kids are still fairly young, right?
Yeah.
Has there been any interest, or like you said, it's like 1-2 minutes, but is it something that you guys have kind of talked about, or are they even old enough to kind of gauge what they feel at this point? I know that sounds weird. Like I have a 5-year-old and my oldest two are 7 and 5. And like I kind of talked to them about like, hey, if Daddy was ever to give you all the snakes, how would you feel about that?
I don't think
we haven't really said that, but I don't think our oldest, he's 6. I don't think he'd be interested.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be too excited too. He'd be like, cool, Dad.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
super cool. All of them.
All that work, cool. Exactly what I want. But maybe, I mean, he seems to be opening up to a little bit more like helping and stuff. And I said, oh, you can come bend the show with us. And then he kind of just like looked at me with his big doe eyes. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
Probably the littlest one is going to be living at home until she's 25.
I'm here. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm trying to get rid of that beeping. The HVAC person's here and working on it, and it's just getting hotter. Good old Texas. That right there. Oh, this is great. Yeah, chaos ensues. See what I get?
How hot is it over there?
It's still 105 degrees outside.
Look.
And it is currently 92 in my house, according to my phone.
That's not good.
Yeah. So he's working on the unit right now. So hopefully we have air here in a little bit. If not, I'm going to have to start running fans everywhere and go get a window unit. Let's talk about kind of what your plans are in the future. I'm going to let you guys solo it while I try to take care of that. But talk a little bit about your plans in the future and where you kind of see this going in the next couple of. I am not going to call them that, even though you want me to. I promised not to. I'm being nice. I'm working really hard to remember people's names now. Your plans in the next couple of years and where you kind of see Portuguese pythons going.
That's a lot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, where do I see myself in the next 5 years? I guess we're
Working with some recessive projects.
yeah, but I mean, be as big as we can handle too. I mean, we're not going to be any bigger than what we could be. I don't know. What do we see ourselves? I mean, I guess we're working towards Ultramel Puzzle's another one that we're working towards, and we did some pairings too this year.
Sunset Ultramel.
Sunset Ultramel, I think, look really cool. Sunset Ultramel pies are gonna look really cool. I know Hypo works really good with.
You're taking full advantage of me not being able to interrupt you saying that word.
Because you're probably searching Ultramel right now.
Which Ultramels can I buy?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I mean, we built this room to last at least a few years. Hopefully, we won't have to expand in the next 5 years. I mean, we might.
I don't think so. I think to expand bigger than this is a lot. It's going to be a big change.
But like you said, what's basically what we can manage, even with the 3 kids and the collection and still doing shows. Danny works a full-time job. We breed I shouldn't say we. He breeds his own rodents. So, just time management with his job, the kids, the snakes, the rodents, can't get too big. Work yourself out. What else? More Ultramel. Ultramel.
No.
Oh, we have Ultramel clowns coming. Just throwing it out there. What else?
I don't know. I think I don't know where else we can.
I don't think any more. Oh, we might bring on one new species, king snakes, but we'll see.
Are you going like for the cow kings or like MBKs? Or are you looking for? What are you looking for as far as king snake?
MBKs.
Nice.
Oh, True Ghost.
True Ghost.
I was reading.
John has left the chat. No, that's how big is the collection now at this point?
Well, we got room for 3 full-size ARS racks, so the 40 series. So we got 2 that are full, and then one that it's still empty.
Wait a second. You went ARS? You live in California and you went ARS?
Yeah, it was cheaper.
Well,
it was cheaper to have them.
Pause. We like the way they look
but it was
over
still
the
cheaper.
Freedom Breeder.
It was cheaper to have them deliver it here than it was to drive up there and pick it up.
Yeah.
As crazy that sounds, it's true.
But you also like the coating on it.
Yeah, and I like the look of these better, and I like that they're metal, so we can use the magnets on them. And I don't know, I'm happy with them. And I've heard overall, I mean, I don't have any Freedom Breeder, but I heard they're super sharp too, so I don't know.
Well, like the older generations, the newer ones aren't that bad.
Well, those like metal rails too, like you ever felt them too? The only ones I think I felt was we went to Miguel's. Yeah, and those are the only ones that I felt that like those edges are super sharp too. But I mean, they're really nice racks. I'm not saying that one's any better than the other. This is our preference and we like it and we're happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know so many California people were ARS.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got the Sea Serpent's baby rat. So yeah, he asked how big the collection was or how. Oh, you kind of dabbled on.
Yeah. I think.
Sorry.
It's your show. You want to shut me off? It's fine. I'll
go ahead.
No, we got it's three RS racks, and that's going to be for now. I think it's our limit.
Yeah, for this space.
Yeah, and I mean even with 3 racks too, I think it's going to be like 2 full. Like 2 would be like breeding rack, and you're still going to have one where you have those females that are kind of like the inner, like they don't know if they're going to go, not going to go. So you don't want to like, I guess just have them until like the female that's going to take their place. I mean, the female that they're going to take the place of is ready. They're ready. Yeah. Makes sense.
Do you do like a rotation on your breeder females, or as long as they look like a healthy weight? So like, I know some people that'll like, they breed a couple of years, like they'll breed a female a couple of years in a row and then they'll give them a year off. Or are you constantly just looking to cycle through because of your limited space?
As far as cycle through, like to Oh, I see. Just give them a year off. No, I mean, if they're going to take a year off, I think they're going to take it, right? If they're building, they're going to build and they're going to go, right? I mean, unless you don't put the male in, but if they want to go, they're going to go. And I mean, they're going to tell you too, like if she's not eating, if she had 1, 2 rats after, laying and she's a bad eater, she's not going to go. No matter what you do, how many times you put the male in there, she's not going to build. I mean, you can tell, right? I mean, from the correlation of when you see females, like even before you measure them, if you look at the feeding card, you can tell like, hey, that she's probably not even going to be building right now. And sure enough, most times 9 times out of 10, you can tell like the ones that are on, they're eating, they're hitting hard. Like those are the ones that when you go measure them, like, yep, knew it, she's going or growing, right?
So when it comes time with limited rack space, like how do you decide? Is it strictly off of what you make, or is it off of your projects that you're shooting for? Or like when it's time to essentially move on from a breeder, how do you make that decision?
If we have something to replace her with. So I mean,
even sometimes, even if you don't have something to replace,
if it's like a single gene, like, okay, we don't really have much use for her anymore, or like spider. Like if you want to get spider out, like obviously it's your visits been well stayed. I mean, we have no problems with them, but it's not desired by many. But I think that's the determining factors. Like, do we have something to replace her with? Are we just like, she's just a single gene, like we can put something else in there? And right.
I think it's hard too, because then you start valuing like the amount of the money that she's going to make too, right? Like you look at the clutch, like if it's making 3,000 to 4,000 or 2,000, like that kind of makes a difference too, deciding if you're going to let her go or not.
Yeah.
But it's hard though. Like a female, it's going to produce you, 3,000, even though people don't think that's a lot of money, right?
I think this is the first year we actually.
It's a hard decision, right, to let them go.
And it was even then like, I don't want to do it. I think I was the hesitant one, but in the end, it was better.
It's never easy. I mean, some are, but most of them aren't. Especially when they're really good females and they have good clutches and they always eat good, and those are the hard ones to let go.
Mike said, "Can't wait to see the ultra milk production." Us too. You can read the comments.
Oh, man,
we'll see you, Gray, next weekend.
As soon as I get it, it's gonna be one of those. Let's talk about your breeding thoughts, right? Like everyone has that certain whether it be size or just the overall shape of the animal or age. What's kind of like the guidelines that you guys go with for your breeding plans, or when you decide, okay, it's safe to start pairing these up?
As far as like first time females, their age, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
What makes you determine that you're going to breed a female? Size, age, body shape, what?
Yeah, I would look at like how they've been eating, right? That's going to make a difference, and what age they're at. You know what I mean? That's going to make a big difference too. I don't think they're going to go before 2. I think the earliest we had is like right on that 2-year mark. We had 2 sisters go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I try it. I mean, I'm a believer that I think that to pair them before they're building, I think that's going to help a little bit and spark it, but I don't know if it's 100% true. I think it might be, right?
Spark it? No, yeah, definitely. But we ultrasound too, so that definitely helps.
Yeah, but I on these younger females, we put like a lock on them and then kind of see how they go, especially if they're eating good and they look got good body to them, and they will pair them up once, and if they build, then we'll keep going. I mean, it all depends too. Like if this is a newer female and she only has like that 1 or 2 males that she's going to, it's only a specific project. Like it doesn't really matter, right? Like you're not going to burn this male out, so you can maybe go a little extra and then see if that gets her going. I've had it too, where like girls aren't eating and you put the male in once and like they just turn on and they're beasts, right? And they eat everything and they lay a clutch like 3 or 4 months later.
What about your males? So everyone has kind of like that sweet spot, or they have, even with the number of females that they're willing to put it to. So like for your males, when you're trying to get them there, what's kind of like your range to start putting them out? And then how many females, because I know you can essentially do unlimited depending on their condition, right? Like, and depending how they cycle, because you can obviously push a male to a multitude of females as long as they're cycling differently. But what's kind of like your guys's general, this is how we like to set it up?
I think, well, we sit down, like last year we sat down for like a month and did our breeding plan. But one of our males went to like 7 females, and then another male went to like 1 female. So it just varies on like the project. But we've never had anything more than 7. And then even
last year we did 1 to 8, I think, is last year.
Which one?
The club.
Oh yeah. But he was a beast, so he could do it. So I mean, and we just look like I said, we ultrasound, and like you said, like if they're on like different cycles, so like each week we'll see like, oh, who was the last one with it, like a month ago, 3 weeks ago, like that type of thing. But we've never pushed it more than 8.
I think younger males, it's
Harder.
It's like a fine line, right, where you can push them and not push them, because if you start them too early, then they go off food, then you just screwed your whole season and next season sometimes if they never go back on food. And we had that happen before. Or not that we bred him too early, he just was not a great eater and stopped eating, and next year he was useless, because we don't want to breed him and have something happen. But it's hard, man. Even if you push, like, if you not like overfeed him, but even if you like feed males on like the edge of, just a little bit bigger, like they can still go off food. I mean, if they have that weight, they lose it so quick too at that younger age. Because these bigger males, like they'll go hard and they'll eat for like 3-4 months, 5 months, and they still look fine. But the baby, like the younger males, those first year males, like takes a lot out of them, especially when they stop eating early.
Do you have backup males? Is what Rusty's asking.
Yeah, I feel like every year we have a problem not having enough males, right? It's always something like, man, we should have bought another extra male last year. You know what I mean? And it's just like either one male didn't like get big enough, or like.
Did he say extra male? Sorry, did you say extra male, or did you find a way to sneak in ultra male again? Because it sounded like you said ultra male. We should have got it.
It was extra male.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it everywhere now. Every time you hear something that sounds cool, you're gonna hear like ultra male. Yeah, you're gonna wake up like extra male.
An extra ultra male.
Yeah, I think you have to have backups too. But yeah, I think everybody's so scared to have enough males. I just don't think you could have enough.
Well, but some people are too male heavy. But it's hard.
I think there's a lot.
Too male heavy, but then you have to have backup males. So it's like, well, what? Like, what do I do?
Well, agreed, right? Every year we've had to
figure out a plan or find another
we
male.
We didn't buy enough males, right? Like we should have bought an extra one. So every year, like, and you think like, cool, I got this one, we're good. This is the extra one here. And then you're like, oh, we could have used that other one too, So.
And it seems like a lot more people are saying that now, which I remember when I first came in, they were always like, oh, you want one male for like X amount of females. And that's all you need, because you could breed one male to X amount of females. And you see it more and more every year that I've been in, at least, where they're like, man, I should have had 1, maybe 2. Or like the bigger breeders are like, I should have had like 3 or 4 backup males, because I had to put them to these females because they were the ones building. And then the one I wanted to pair, it was too late.
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's smart. Let's talk about your marketing strategy a little bit on your social media.
Ultra
how?
I'm just messing with you.
Hey, watch this. So they have amazing marketing, and if you want to watch it, you should go check out their Instagram. But no, honestly, what's kind of like the idea, or like, do you guys play off of each other on what you would like to see on the page, or is it just kind of like what's happening around your breeding and the shows that you choose to focus on with your marketing?
We were a lot more in socials like before the end of the year. So like starting like October, we kind of like died off just because like the holidays were so busy. But like last year we posted every clutch that hatched out, and then like updated of the babies, and then like the moms on eggs. And like this year it's just been a little bit different. Like we don't have a lot of stuff that's hatched out yet, so it's kind of been like, okay, we've done locks, we've done moms on eggs, we had two clutches out now. Oh, 3 clutches out now. So like we've gotten that. but it's a different season of life. So it's just hard because like with the kids, it's busy, like work and just life. And we don't want to just put crap out there. So like he's been making the reels lately and I've been posting, doing the captions, whatever, but we were hitting it a lot harder before. I've done quite a bit of research, not research. That makes me sound like smart, but like I've done like a lot, like a deep dive into like what's getting shown on Instagram. Like they were pushing reels a lot. So like our whole feed right now is just reels, but now they're saying, oh, now photos are taking a comeback. So it's like, well, now do we want to change our page from just reels to now posting photos? And it's something like we haven't quite decided on. We're still pushing the reels. It's just hard. So like what we have, like the 3 clutches, moms on eggs, like that's what we have right now. We've kind of had crap weather, so everything's been indoors, and it's just what we can without just shoving junk down your throat, basically. Ultra.
At the same time, too, if you're gonna post stuff, I think it should like. It's the last time we come on this show.
I know.
I think if you're gonna post stuff, post quality. I think it's quality over quantity. I know they say like every day you gotta be consistent, but at some point, like then your page looks like crap because you're just posting like either the same stuff or it's just like it starts to look like watered down. Just like it just looks like you're just trying to like throw stuff at the wall, right? And then like make it stick up there. So I think we got to a point where like we're kind of like picking and choosing what looks better and like posting maybe not every day, but posting quality like photos and reels on there. I think that helps too.
No, I appreciate it because it really shows it shows what you guys are doing. But more than that, it you can how do I want to place it? I don't know how I want to say this. Like you're showing your journey, but you're also showing like the steps in that journey, you know what I mean? Like if you've looked at it, like we'll take this for instance. This is the easiest way to kind of explain this for
you're talking about like the progression, like
brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're going through, you could see like, okay, well we had a bunch of babies at this time and our focus was rats, and now we're showing the new hatchlings that we needed the rats for, and and then we did shows, and then we're showing more babies. But like it's the focus is generally pitched towards, okay, we're producing and we're out here for the general public. This is what we have available, which is kind of gives the people that aren't able to make it to that local show a taste of who you guys are.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I don't think you asked me a question. It's a question.
No, I'm just saying I agree with it.
There was no question. That was just a long-winded statement. You said he shoots it and you do the.
Sometimes it depends. You know, I think I've pulled the last few clutches by myself since he's been at work. So like I've done some videos, but I usually have like the 3 kids. So he'll run outside to get like that quick afternoon sunlight while I'm wrangling the 3 wild children, or, you know, we did like the baby ones together.
Yeah.
But he usually does it. I was editing them for a while, and then he's like, I'm going to do it now because I think I make them better. I'm like, okay, whatever. You can sit. I guarantee I
didn't sound like that.
You can sit there for an hour trying to pick out the best song and the best edits. Like, have at it.
It takes so much time.
Let's talk about that because it drives me nuts, right? Like, so when Instagram put out, hey, this is how you could tell this song's trending, and then everyone in the industry hits the same sound at the same time.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? And like you post,
it's annoying.
And you hear that song every other like post. You're like, I thought I just found the song. I thought it was cool. Everybody already posted like 2 days ago.
But there's also a benefit to it because technically, from my research, the more times that song has been used, that means like people are searching for that song, and depending on how many likes or like views or whatever your reel is getting, it's going to put you into that like that homepage of that song. So we've had like a few reels go viral just because of like the songs, right? But it pushed it to like the top of, you go to the little search, whatever, and it's right there. So that's getting views from people who are not just posting snake videos, who are just looking at like cars or outfits, that type of thing. So sometimes picking that really popular song does have its benefits, but it is annoying because everybody, is picking that same thing.
What's that new one? I posted it on a reel and
I'm
a
sure you
story
posted
today
it.
just to be a jerk.
Yeah.
Because Harry got it stuck in my head. Freaking Wang. Freaking Harry Wang. I don't know. It starts with an M, and everyone's doing it now. And so to be obnoxious, I put it on both the reel and the stories today.
I'm
But,
sure it's probably the one with that guy like doing the dance.
Probably.
Right? I don't know what movie it's. Oh, you're the one that picks all the popular ones.
You have to show me later.
Okay, I'll show you.
So for the people that are not, because I'll be honest, like my research goes into, okay, I understand this means trending, this means this means that. That's about as deep as I'll ever go into it, because I want a presence, but I don't care at the same time, as bad as that sounds.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's good too. Like, I mean, think about your Instagram, just like just to show off what you have, right? Like, if I look at somebody's morph market, right, and I'm like I'm not really sure, like, did they really produce it? Or like head stuff. Like, if you look on their page and you see like they have those like visuals or the pairings, like it makes you more comfortable, like to like purchase, even if they're real photos or fake photos. At least it looks like they have it, right? When you look at somebody's page and like, if there's like something like a head sunset this or that, and look at their page, there's no sunsets at all, like not even a male that they used to pair to make the heads. Like, it makes you kind of just think like, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable, right?
What do you mean, like all the pages that steal like the top 10 breeders' photos and make a whole page off of it, and like they all have different floors and different hand colors, and like, look at all the babies I produced.
Yeah.
But I think that's how you should use your Instagram. That's a good for that too.
It's like a fact checker.
I like that. I really do. The way I was trying to go through a question, Danny beat me this time. He interrupted me on it. Good job. I'm proud of you, bro. You got me. You got me back. What's some advice for those that want to take Instagram more serious than someone like me that you guys would put out with your ability to grow it to where you have? Because whether you say it or not, like once you break that 10K, that's kind of the upper tier of what most people are going to be able to hit. So the fact that you've done it twice over means something.
So on a side note, we posted a couple reels, right, that went absolutely viral. I think we have one that has like 9.8 million views. And I'm not sure if it was the song or just the clip that all the little baby snakes were trying to bite Danny, but it just took off. And there's like another one from like a couple months before that was like, what, like 3 million or something like that. I had to go back and look. But we gained a lot of those followers by those popular things and just our stuff getting pushed out there and shared, and that clip being shared. But my one thing for social media is staying consistent. I would like to post every day. I'm guilty of not posting every day. We did for a while, and it's like time consuming. It's a lot, especially when you're trying to run a business, 2 businesses, kids, family, etc. But staying consistent, posting quality over quantity. Like, nobody wants to see your dirty feet in sandals. Like, I'm sorry. Like, don't post videos of your dirty sandal feet.
I like my croc pics.
No,
okay.
I don't want to see
I make it a point now, actually.
No.
Every time I pull a clutch and I take the picture, I do the very bottom edge to show my Crocs off, just to piss people off.
I'm sorry. I had to put it out there.
No, because I made a reel before too. She's like, your feet are in it.
Your feet are in the reel. We cannot post.
I was just out there for 20 minutes making a reel. My feet are in it. Like, cool, I'll go try again.
No. I mean, some people are into it, but no, that's gross. But quality.
You got to make that money any way you can. I'm just saying.
Right.
I know they're saying hashtags like aren't a thing anymore, but like,
yeah, I heard that the other day.
But know your audience. Like, we hashtag like our business name, so that helps. And like the simple one, snake, whatever. But yeah, quality over quantity, staying consistent, even if it's every other day, every 2 days, like whatever. But just stay consistent and like clear photos. Like, make sure you're wiping the lens of if you're using your phone, wipe the lens of your camera.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference. Like, I'm serious. I know we're not like, we don't really go live or anything, but And we don't really do stories unless, you know, we're sharing something. Like we don't post stories. I should be better about that. But consistency, quality, what else?
Just post too. Like
Just post.
some people are like, man, what's my animals aren't good enough. Like I don't think it's just nice photos and just post what you have. Like it doesn't matter. Like everybody's at different steps. Like just because you don't think your animals are good enough, there's somebody that has animals that are below you are. Somebody's, you know what I mean? There's so many different levels. So
It's a pyramid.
Yeah, no.
Pyramid.
I'm just saying, like, if that's where you're at, just be proud of them and take good pictures, and it's going to show. When people go look at your page, you're going to say, like, hey, they care because they're taking good pictures. Everything looks really good. If it's just crappy pictures, like, they're just going to move on. Like, just think about it. Like, do you want to follow a page that has horrible pictures? Like, no. So, like, run your page the same way. Like, make it appealing to people. Like, when they stop by and see, like, if somebody starts following me, I look at their page and it's like stuff I don't even want to look at, and it's like bad pictures. Like, I'm probably not going to follow them, right? But if they look really cool, like, there's some really cool snakes, I'll probably follow them. You know what I mean? It's just because that's stuff you want to look at, right? So, I don't know. That's kind of what I think.
That's why you unfollowed me today.
What? No, we didn't.
I was being smart because I posted Monarch today.
Okay, I always saw that. I saw it.
But you know, Instagram is weird too, because like I'll be following people that I never ever followed before, right? So I don't know if they put people on there and then like, well, we'll be like all of a sudden we're unfollowing people. Like what? Did you unfollow? Like, no, I didn't unfollow. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. You know what I mean? So it's just weird. I don't know.
It's the same thing with YouTube. I think it's all a game.
Yeah, basically.
So before we wrap this up, because we're like right at that 1:30, and you tell everyone, hopefully everyone knows where to find you because we've shown it like 3 or 4 times. But what's something that you would like to leave everyone that's listening now and those that will hopefully listen in the future? Hopefully.
Thank you for following us, or thank you for watching us. Thank you for following us on Instagram, coming to visit us at shows. Thanks to you for having us here on your show. Stay consistent, quality over quantity. Stay out of the drama. What else?
Y'all just became my new favorite by saying that.
What?
I said
Stay out of the drama.
We're Switzerland over here.
I don't know. Just don't be afraid to like go to shows and talk to people. You know what I mean? It's hard because you think these people don't want to talk to you, but they do. Go up there and like, you know what I mean?
All reptile people want to talk to reptile people. Like I can't go talk to my grandparents about reptiles. They'd probably like get away from me. But seriously, like just approach people. Everyone wants to help, and if they don't want to help, then move on to the next table because
there is somebody out there that will want to talk to you and help you out. Well, I mean, we do. I mean, everybody wants to, right? Because everybody starts somewhere. There's always somebody to help them out, right? So help them out.
Absolutely. What's the next show that people are going to be able to find you at? And if they can't make it to that show, how do they reach out to you? We
will be in Anaheim next weekend, the 8th and 9th.
Super show.
Reptile Super Show at the Convention Center. If not, you can reach us on Instagram, Morph Market, and then we'll be at the Reptile Super Show in Pomona, August. Jesus. I don't know, first weekend or second weekend of August. 9th,
I think, if I remember right. I'm trying to figure out my flight for it. So.
Oh, you're coming?
I am.
Awesome.
I have to. Randy called me out, so I gotta come back.
Okay, we're glad. We'll see you.
Yeah, he'll make you a hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In queso.
I'll get a Portuguese shirt.
Definitely.
For sure, man. You come out to Pomona or Anaheim, you said?
I said Pomona.
Oh, Pomona. I won't do Anaheim.
Come on.
Y'all can keep that Disney price and the craziness there. I'll probably be like hiding, like shivering behind Randy's table while at Pomona because there's so many people and my anxiety is going to kick in.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Bring like 5 or 6 extra shirts so that you guys don't know that I was actually sweating. And
yeah, you're welcome to come behind our table too if Randy bugs you.
Oh, that's fine. That sounds perfect. There's like way more space behind your table. It's an end cap. That sounds lovely.
Oh, Randy usually has some fun. He goes to the shows.
Does he?
I think so, yeah. Sometimes he shares it with Tristan, but
Mike, I'll reach out to you, brother. Oh no, jerk! I didn't see that last part. Well played, sir. Well played. So I will see you guys in like a month, and
Yeah.
then are we gonna see you at Arlington again, or are you guys gonna be able to make that? If you can't, you can't. I understand.
We've been talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to go.
I hope to see you again.
It's hard too. He's got the rats, and like you need somebody here. You know what I mean? Because last time we were in Arlington,
Oh, on the way home.
that Saturday night before we came home, the AC went out on the rat room.
Oh, so you feel my pain.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely appreciate you all. It means a lot that you took this on such short notice. It means a lot to me.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you for having us on. We appreciate it.
Sorry, I was so scatterbrained with everything going on today. We'll come back for a round 2 at some point, and I'll be more focused. All right. I hope you all enjoyed Danny and Renee, or as no, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, Rusty, I'm not gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next weekend, we may or may not have an episode. I got to make sure the guests can still make it. So if not, I might take a weekend off. So I'll let you guys know soon. Send your love to Danny and Renee, and make sure you check out Portuguese Pythons, and we'll see you on the next one. Appreciate y'all.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.